कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नाउ राधा माधव। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी, जय गोपी चंद वल्लभ गिरवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, जमुना तीर वनचारी, यमुना तीरे वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी चंद वल्लभ गिरवरधारी, जय गोपी चंद वल्लभ गिरवरधारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Now I sing Lord Chaitanya song, जो स्वरूप दामोदर दास जी ने संगीतबद्ध किया हुआ है. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे, तुम्हें बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे, तुम्हें बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे, पतित पावन हेतु तब अवतारे, पतित पावन हेतु तब अवतारे, मौसम पतित प्रभु न पाई बेआरे, मौसम पतित प्रभु न पाई बेआरे, जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु. आहा प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी, आहा प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी, कृपावलोकन करो आमी बड़ा दुखी, कृपावलोकन करो आमी बड़ा दुखी, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु। दया करो सीतापति अद्वैत गोसाई। दया करो सीतापति अद्वैत गोसाई। तव कृपा बल पाई चैतन्य निताई। आहा स्वरूप सनातन रूप रघुनाथा। आहा स्वरूप सनातन रूप रघुनाथा। बट जुग श्री जीव हा प्रभु लोकनाथा। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे। दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास। दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास। रामचंद्र संग मांगे नरोत्तम दास। रामचंद्र संग मांगे नरोत्तम दास। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे। तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे। तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Now, translation. Uh, uh, dear Lord Chaitanya, please be merciful to me. Please, more merciful than your Lordship within these three words. Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditions fallen souls, but I assure you that you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claims is first. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you always appear very happy, I have come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your grace glance over me, then I may also become happy. My dear Advait Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be merciful to me. If you are kind to me, naturally Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind to me. O Swarup Damodar, personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya, O Six Goswami, O Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatan Goswami, Shri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Shri Jeev Goswami, and Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, O Loknath Goswami, my beloved spiritual master, Narottam Das also prays for your mercy. O Srinivasa Acharya, successor to the six Goswamis, please be merciful to me. Narottam Das always desires the company of Ramachandra Chakravarti. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you to all Mataji. Thank you for the Kirtan Seva. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Dandratana Mataji, thank you so much for the Kirtan Seva. So, I'll do the invocation prayers and then we can do the recap of yesterday's class. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Bhakyantimirandasya Dhyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथन्वितं तं सजीवं साधवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः. O most magnificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. कृष्णवर्णं तुषा कृष्णं शाङ्गपाङ्गश्च यज्ञैः सङ्कीर्तनप्राये यजन्ति हि सुमेधसः. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Lord Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. नानाशास्त्रविचारणैकनिपुणौ षडधर्मसंस्थापकौ लोकानामहितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मान्यौ शरण्याकरौ राधाकृष्णपदारविन्दभजना नन्देन मत्तालिकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ. I offer my respectful obeisances to the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all living beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds and are worth taking shelter because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and they are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Sri Radha and Sri Krishna. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे. Thank you so much. Over to you, Prasad Tripathi, for recap.
हरे कृष्ण संत माता जी, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी माता जी संदर्भ प्रणाम. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Mm. Yesterday we had a wonderful session from Samta Mataji. So we try to do recap. First, let me share my screen. So Bhagavatam, 12th canto, Bhumi Gita. Okay, we are trying to do the recap of this. Hare Krishna. Hope my voice is fine, audible. Uh,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. What we will do is, because we have a good number of slides, um, uh, like total 23 slides are there. It is close to impossible to go through in 20 minutes. Okay. All these 23 slides. What I have done is I have picked the most important themes, okay, which do not have any overlap, and consolidated 12 questions out of these 23, 24 slides. And then we'll walk through these questions. Hare Krishna. So let us start with the first question on slide 3. This is the insescable impermanence of material achievements. So this is the first theme I'm talking about. I'm asking the first question. What does this particular theme teach about the material achievements? So we had a wonderful explanation from Mataji yesterday on this particular theme. What does this theme teach all about material achievements? That is what we run for every day, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just a few
Hare
hours
Krishna,
back, we
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. No, go on, Prabhuji. Thank you.
okay. So just few hours back, we heard Mataji explain this one. So she was giving all the great kings, right? Those who ruled and they have become a part of history, but they have no place. In the course of time, they were wiped out. So this is what inescapable impermanence of material achievement. Whatever you do in this material world, you may be the king. King is the highest, right? One can reach to the stage. That is the king stage. Even a king are wiped out. Time doesn't wait anybody anyone. So that is what is the succumb to inexhaustible reality of morality. Those are good or bad, both will wipe out. Their grand quest for in just suppose the eternal soul become trivial. So those who are not surrendered to the Lord, they go in the history, and they don't achieve anything in this life, even though they become materially prosperous like a king. This is the central theme of this impermanent permanence of material achievement. So achievement doesn't take you anywhere. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, may
Thank
I
you.
add one point?
Yeah. Please add.
यस
Yeah.
whatever मतलब मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में हम आए हैं तो इसका मतलब ये से भी हमें समझा रहे हैं कि एक दिन हमें जाना है, जिसका आरंभ है उसका अंत है ही है। तो हमें इतना परस्यू करने की, हार्डवर्क करने की, इतनी ये कंट्रोल पावर करने की इतनी जरूरत नहीं है। उससे अच्छा है कि हम हो सके उतने भक्ति करें और उसमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा कर पाए।
Prabhuji, this theme gives us a clarion call. Uh,
Mm.
and we should understand that it is this world is ephemeral and it has no purpose. It is futile. So we must
Mm.
always try for try to understand the true purpose of life. That is to have our ultimate goal, reaching Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we must acknowledge and understand the transitory nature of this world.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, though there a person may be strong and powerful ruler, king, but he tries to get more and more
Mm.
property, more and more attached towards materialism. More he tries to get more and more power. He doesn't know one day he has to go. He is the puppet in the hands of the death. वो death
Yeah.
आएगा और सब मिल जाएगा.
सब मिल
तो
जाए.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think as understanding Bhagavatam, like everybody can answer and everybody can put questions on this particular significance of material achievements and what is ultimate result. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Guruji, one
It's
word is
wonderful.
निधन.
Mhm.
निधन. So अगर हम मृत्यु हो गया तो हमारा जितना भी धन है वो खत्म हो जाएगा. निधन.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So I'm going to the next question, next theme, the theme of nature of the yugas, nature of ages. Okay, that is yugas. So what is the significance of the four yugas in this particular theme? Mm.
In every yuga,
Let's
there
talk
is a
about it.
decline of dharma, which
Ah,
moral
ah,
values.
yes.
So in Satyug, it was slight decrease in
Mm.
moral values, and in
Yes.
Dwapar, Treta Yuga, slight more than the
Slightly.
Satyug,
Yeah.
and in Dwapar Yuga, इससे भी ज़्यादा, and then
Yeah.
कलयुग में तो बस only 1/4 of the जैसे कि शरद प्रभु जी कल बता रहे थे कि 1/4 of dharma is remains.
Mm. Okay.
So much,
So,
so much deterioration in the
yeah.
moral values.
Yeah. Got it. So what happens is, uh, okay, so much of dharma deterioration, but every yuga there is opportunity for going back to Godhead. Yeah, that's very important, Mataji explained. Yeah, let's move to the next slide. Uh, Third question. The theme I'm going to ask is third theme, the transformation power of devotion, Lord Krishna. Okay. So the question is, why bhakti and Nam Sankirtan? Yeah, is very important or ideal in the Kali Yuga. Everyone can answer this. Everyone can put question, answers, 1 or 2 points. Why the bhakti
Hare
is
Krishna,
very important
Prabhuji.
in Kali Yuga?
Yes,
Yeah, go
Prabhu.
ahead.
Bhakti is most important because in this Kali, the Yuga Dharma is नाम संकीर्तन. कली केवल नाम आधारा. यहाँ पे चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने युग धर्म को दिया है, तो हमें हो सके उतना उसका हमें एडवांटेज लेना चाहिए और हो सके
Hmm.
उतना नाम संकीर्तन करना चाहिए. और ये जो भक्ति का जितने भी हमारे आचार्यों ने हमें जो भी रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस दिए हैं उसको हमें अच्छे से फॉलो करना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो एनहांस करते हैं हमें, हमारा नाम संकीर्तन और बढ़ाते हैं. जैसे हम हमारा नाम संकीर्तन बढ़ाते हैं उससे हमारी और सेवा भी बढ़ती है. दिस इज द
Yes.
साइकिल.
It's a cycle. Yeah. Perfect.
Only
Perfect, Mataji.
bhakti is there. Only bhakti and devotion is there. The devotion is bhakti, same thing. Only due to this bhakti, one can transform. All
Yeah.
can bring transformations. Only this
Sure.
is due to bhakti only.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. So I'm moving to the slide 8 and then question number 4. The theme I'm going to discuss over here is spiritual liberation versus material ambition. Okay, that is theme 4. So let us say a question on this particular theme. How does this particular theme differentiates between material ambition and spiritual liberation?
May
This
I,
particular theme
Prabhuji?
explains and differentiates. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
If the person is having material ambitions, then he can't go forward for liberation, spiritual liberation, because material ambition means he is too much attached with the desires, ambitions, with the material world. So there is no devotion towards Supreme God. So
Yeah,
these are opposite things.
yeah. So
Only
in nutshell,
having
material
some,
ambition focuses on temporary things. It's everything temporary. Prestige is temporary. Wealth is
yes.
temporary. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu. So everything temporary. If it is spiritual liberation, that is a completely permanent. Yeah, it is eternal. Yeah, thank you,
एंड
Mataji.
मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट प्रभु जी, अगर हमें थोड़ी सी भी भक्ति की है तो हमें नेक्स्ट लाइफ में हमें वहां से शुरू कर पाएंगे। भगवत गीता श्लोक में यहाँ विक्रमणास्नुति प्रत्यवायो विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यते धर्म से त्रायते महतो भयात्।
Yes, very important. I think you all become experts in Bhagavatam. Yeah, there is no doubt in that because of all these sessions. So wonderful. So move to slide 10. That is question number 5. And the theme I'm talking is the theme number 1, the modes of material nature. Okay. So how does the three gunas influence our life, human life, and the condition of Kali Yuga? How does these three gunas influence our day-to-day life in current stage of life?
Prabhuji, if the person is in Sattva Guna, then he will try to think about God, and her spiritualism is greater. And if the person is not, is person is in tamas and rajogun, if he is in rajoguna, then he will all the time he will think about the desires, about the material world. ये करना है, वो करना है, सब कुछ। और इन तामस में, तामस गुण में तो वो करेगा, वो तो बिल्कुल सोचेगा ही नहीं गॉड के बारे में। वो तो फिर अपना कुछ आसुरी प्रवृत्ति भी उसमें आ जाती है एक तरह से। वो अपना भी इतना नहीं अच्छा सोच पाता, वो बस डिस्ट्रक्टिव माइंड होता है उसका। सो ये the person who is more desirous, more attracted towards material, then it means सतोगुण उसमें बहुत कम है, रजस and tamas gun can be said majority.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Prabhuji, always our human nature is a combination of all three gunas, and our thought and action is according to the gunas.
Yeah.
So a person influences the society by his gunas. Like
Yeah.
when a person is in Saptoguna, he will give good things to the society, good feelings, spiritual feelings, like that. And in Rajaguna, they will be materialistic in nature. In Tamaguna, they will create havoc in the society. So our thought and action shapes the society in different way.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. So I'm moving to the next slide. All wonderful points. Thank you. So the nature of supreme being, okay, that is a theme which I'm going. How does this particular theme describes that supreme being and why this is understanding of the supreme being in Bhagavata Dharma is very important for all of us. Talking about
We
the
have
theme
to
number 4.
develop a divine connection. If we don't know with whom we are developing this connection, then how will we proceed on the spiritual path? So it is very important to know the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to understand that he is a personal form and not something impersonal. Impersonal is just his energy, but we have to connect to his personal form. So unless and until there is this understanding, we won't be able to develop this connection.
Yes, Mataji.
Also,
thank you.
yeah, Prabhuji, just to add few more, the nature of the Supreme Being, in Brahmaniti, Paramatmaiti, Bhagwaniti, you can think of Paramatma, but what kind of connectivity you can have? You can think of all pervading aspect also. So you can't develop that, right? So that is the reason only we can have a personal relation. We can feel happy that service is being tendered and there's a reciprocation. All these things can happen. That is why the nature of a being, how you connect with that, how do you understand, it's a very important part.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. All wonderful points. Mataji has covered so wonderfully yesterday. Okay, it's been recapped now. So I'm moving to the slide number 12. Okay, the theme which I picked is consequences of atheism and materialism. Okay, everyone can answer this question. What are the consequences of materialism and what is the consequence of neglecting spiritual values?
So again, as we see in Kali Yuga, whatever we see, everything is a material, and their virtues are changed, not from spiritual. Understand the deeper, as Mataji explained very nicely. It was my morning. The go deeper, don't see superficial, right? She was trying to see. So materially, what ultimately, if you go and read the sloka, it talks about everything. Success is defined by one who has more money, one who has a more opulent job, and all those things. Then the nature of the person, he may be a demonic, right? Maybe his virtues are. So that is what he has changed here. So atheism in the and consequence of atheism and materialism, they go hand in hand, basically. That is what it is mentioned. You can have a lot of other points also, but that is a
Yeah.
prime focus.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
one more point. Because of this atheism and materialism, they want to do more power on everyone.
Exactly. Correct. Correct. And
Too
that
much
brings
power
out
and
greed.
control
Yeah.
tendencies.
Yeah. Yeah. All these things bring what? Greed and
Ultimately, in the
selfishness.
end, they bring
Selfishness.
frustration.
Yeah.
Frustration.
And that creates that brings a lot of degradation of human life. Correct.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. So I'm moving to slide 16. There is very important theme. That is the theme number 2, the nature of dharma. What is the role of dharma? Okay, according to this particular theme.
Dharma is based on tapa, socha, daya, satyam. So we have to
Hmm.
cultivate this
Important.
tapa, हमें हो
So
सके
truthfulness,
उतना
compassion, austerity, and charity. Yeah, go ahead,
तप
Mataji.
शौच
Sorry.
दया सत्यम हमें सब जीवों के
Hmm.
प्रति दया रखनी है कुछ भी ऐसा हम नहीं करना चाहिए कि दूसरों को हार्मफुल हो फिर हमें सत्य का सहारा भी लेना चाहिए क्योंकि आज के जमाने में तो इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट सब चार चीज अभी है ही नहीं कोई तपस्या कर नहीं रहा है कोई दान भी देते तो भी डाउट करते हैं कि ये सही है कि गलत है और क्लीनलीनेस मतलब इनसाइड और आउटसाइड बोथ मन जैसे हम लोग ने गोविंद भाष्य में देखा था मन की प्योरिटी बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज और सत्य अगर ये चार है तो हम धर्म पे चल रहे हैं ऐसा समझ सकते हैं
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, you covered all the points. Yeah. So I'm moving to the next slide, slide 18, and the question number 9. There is a theme which is conflict and division. Conflict and division, very important thing. So according to this theme, what is the root cause of this conflict and division? What is the root cause? It's very nicely drafted. Okay, Prabhuji has drafted.
Desire. Selfish
Desire,
desire is the root cause of all
selfish
the
desires.
conflict.
Yeah, ego. Yeah, me, mine.
कंट्रोलिंग पावर
Controlling power. Yes, very important point.
Desire for power and desire to win everything on the
Desire to
earth.
win everything. Yeah, but ultimately, you are not going to be there in this earth. Yes or no? We don't know when we are leaving. See, from last I think 2 days, we are having 3, 4, or much more than earthquakes. If you see some of the pictures of Venezuela, it just been collapsing. So we don't know. Is there any guarantee that our buildings will not collapse? Yeah, just think.
यस प्रभु
Is
जी
there any
वेरी ट्रू
guarantee?
पद पद विपदम
Yeah, exactly. See, Bhagavatam teaches us get ready for any kind of challenge in this life or any kind of thing what is happening to us. Yes or no? Yeah.
प्रभु जी जब इंडिविजुअल इन पे फोकस करता है एम्बिशंस डिजायर्स एंड ही इज इन वी कैन से ही इज इन रजोगुना देन all his focus is on these things material world कि how to achieve वो भूल जाता है कि मुझे एक दिन जाना है और सो वो गॉड को याद नहीं करता एक बार भी that वो इन्वॉल्व इतना हो जाता है।
Yes, Mataji.
प्रभु जी एक
Yes.
पॉइंट है, युधिष्ठिर महाराज को यक्ष ने एक सवाल पूछा था कि
हम्म।
दुनिया में सबसे ऐसी कौन सी चीज है जो बहुत ही मतलब उसका क्या है, विचित्र है। तो वो युधिष्ठिर जी ने कहा था कि ऐसे लोग जो है ह्यूमन बीइंग्स वो समझते हैं कि मैं यहाँ पे परमानेंट रहने वाला हूँ, और वो देख इतने सारे डेथ देखते हैं, हम लोग हर रोज इतने लोग मरते हैं, मगर फिर भी हमें ऐसा लगता है कि मैं तो कभी नहीं मरने वाला हूँ। दिस इज द मोस्ट स्ट्रेंज थिंग इन दिस ह्यूमन बीइंग।
Strange thing.
यस माता जी,
That is
हर एक को
exceptional,
माइंड में
right?
नहीं आता कि
Yeah.
मुझे भी ऐसे ही जाना है एक दिन।
हाँ,
माइंड में नहीं आता कि मेरे को एक दिन ऐसे ही जाना है।
माइंड में नहीं
Yeah.
आएगा, राइट।
Yes, Mataji. So wonderful. Thank you very much. So I'm moving to slide number 22. So the theme number, the 4, that is transformative power of divine grace and chanting of Mahamantra. So Mataji explained very beautifully why chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra considered transformation for all of us in this Kali Yuga, dark age.
While chanting, we remember God.
Mm.
And we go far away from material feelings, and it gives us bhakti in our heart. So chanting is very important for us. It helps in kirtan and manan and also smaran.
Actually, the purity of mind comes, purity of
That's
thoughts
why we
comes.
purity of mind comes.
चेतो दर्पण मार्जनम।
Yeah, so basically, in this yoga, chanting the Lord's name is the only recommended process. And everything, all other activity do, as Mataji was mentioning in the morning, right? So that supplements it. So so it has the it is the best. This is the best service, devotional service one can do, and remember the Lord, and that will transfer everything that you want to understand or name it. That's what it says. So it has a transformative power. That means transform from our material virtues or mind to connecting with the Lord, understand the true nature of who we are. That helps us to do that, and that's why it is so important.
Thank you. Thank you.
प्रभु जी भागवतम के ये भूमि गीत का जो लास्ट श्लोका है 52, यहाँ पे बताया है, कृते ध्यायतो विष्णु त्रेतायाम यजतो मखे द्वापरे परिचर्यायाम कलो तत् हरि कीर्तना। मतलब सतयुग में हमें बहुत सालों सालों तक ध्यान करना पड़ेगा, फिर त्रेता युग में हमें इतने सारे यज्ञ करने पड़ेंगे, तब जाके भगवान प्रसन्न होते हैं। फिर द्वापर में हमें भगवान की सेवा अर्चना करनी है, मगर सिर्फ कली ऐसा है कि उसमें सिर्फ भगवान का नाम लेते हैं तो भगवान, ये जो तीनों लोक में जो फल मिलता है वो तुरंत मिलता है। अगर हम विदाउट अपराध बहुत प्रेम से भाव से करेंगे तो ये फल मिलता है।
Thank you. In fact, on this particular point, we can discuss even an hours and hours, because this is a center theme for entire our Gaudiya Sampradaya. Yeah. Yeah. Let's move to the last slide, slide number 23. So wonderful themes here. Okay. So now I'm talking about understanding suffering and embracing spiritual identity. Okay. That is theme number 5. Okay. Understanding suffering and embracing the spiritual identity. The first theme, okay, in this particular slide. The question is how does this theme interrupt suffering in relation to spiritual identity? How does this theme interpret? Okay, how do you understand this particular theme? Okay, in the matter of suffering in relation to spiritual identity.
Prabhuji, in only in suffering, the person remembers God. सुख में याद नहीं आता, दुख में ही याद आता है भगवान। अगर सुख में याद कर लिया जाए तो उसे फिर दुःख आएगा ही नहीं। आएगा तो दुःख को सहन करने की शक्ति होगी, वो दुःख बहुत बड़ा होते हुए भी छोटा लगेगा।
Exactly. The suffering reminds that material life is very, very temporary. And we will not have any lasting happiness. Yes, sir.
एंड प्रभु जी, अगर हम भक्ति
So that
करते हैं
reminds
तो
all of us.
ये जो ड्युअलिटी है, दुख और सुख, उससे ऊपर उठ जाएंगे। दुख आएगा तो भी फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, सुख आएगा तो भी फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा।
Thank you. Thank you. So last and final question. Okay. So what is this particular theme is talking about? The age of humility and navigating spiritual challenges in Kali Yuga. Yeah. The age of humility, the age of humanity, navigating spiritual challenges in this Kali Yuga. That is what we are having, right? So many spiritual challenges, right? When you open chanting back, we don't remember mantra, and we remember the mantra. Okay, our head or mouth is chanting it, but our minds goes everywhere. So what is the overall conclusion? Yeah, in this, what is the central message here? Okay, for all of us on this particular theme.
One should remember God to overcome all these sufferings. And individual should understand that one day all these material powers, all these control he is having will go out, and there remains nothing, only the frustration he gets. So to avoid this, he should remember God. He should go to devotion to the God, and spiritualism rise should be there, so that he can come out of this
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
problems, things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the
Prabhuji.
message is that, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
ahead.
yeah, it's a common that Kali Yuga has all that negative points, all that miseries, everything is there. However, there is also one good thing that by taking his name, one can achieve the same result like Mataji spoke some time back, that sutra, right? So yes, there are challenges. There are the surrounding, everything around us is distressful, all difficult to manage. But in that apparent in that there's also easy process to get out of that also by simply taking the Lord's name. So absolute contracts. One side absolute miseries, another side if you become alert, process also easy in Kali Yuga. Yeah.
Yes, right. Thank you.
Mind should be always fixed on Lord Krishna. Purity of mind,
Very
clarity of
difficult, but we
mind.
have to practice that. Yeah, it's
Yes,
not easy.
practice.
Yeah, by
And we have to follow
listening.
the ABCD.
ABC.
Association of devotee, chanting, book reading, dhamvas, deity worship, everything.
Yeah. Thank you. So the second Kali Yuga is characterized, moral decline will be there, material distractions will be there, suffering is there. Okay, but in spite of all these things, we can make spiritual advancement. So through this devotion and chanting of the holy name and practicing dharma as much as possible, okay, and we should have thinking of the eternal relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead. We can go back to Godhead. Yeah, agree. So that
And
is
we have to understand the emergence. मतलब this is the highest हमारी need है कि ये हम कर पाए.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm again thanking Samta Mataji for yesterday's wonderful session. Thank you very much, sir. And also thank you for doing this recap seva, which has given an opportunity to go through the slides again.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
And other
Krishna.
things and pick up
Nice
the
Nice.
recap.
most
Thank
Thank you
you.
important
so
things.
Very nice recap.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Also for
Hare Krishna.
very wonderful explanation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasad Prabhuji. Ratana, wonderful as usual and wonderful participation. So with this, we can quickly go to our next chapter, which is chapter 3. Chapter 3 we completed yesterday. Today we will be doing chapter 4, which is the 4 categories of universal destructions or annihilation. We'll understand that in chapter 4. Before that, I seek your blessings for today's class. Please forgive me for my mistakes. Jai Shri Prabhupada. This chapter comprises of 43 verses, and in the first 20 verses, we see the cycle of creation and destruction in the cosmic order. In the last part, we see the nature of reality and the supreme absolute truth that is mentioned in the Bhagavad Puran. After which we will see the comments of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on the same. Chapter, this is lesson 188. Now, going forward in chapter 189, it is a further more in-depth understanding, or in detail, we will go into those kinds of universal annihilations. We will understand the philosophical significance of this cyclic nature of existence. We will see the higher reason of why this annihilation and creation is happening. And we will explore this truth in context of Krishna consciousness, which is a path beyond the samsara, in which we kind of cross the two-edged sword of mind-body complex, that is Antakarana. So this is lesson 189. Hopefully we'll try to do both these lessons today. So let us get started with our chapter 4. So we saw in Bhumi Gita how the foolish kings, they are trying to conquer Mother Earth, and Bhumi Gita is the lamentation of Mother Earth. And ultimately, she's saying that whether it's a good king or a bad king, he cannot hold on me permanently. So that is where Bhumi Gita is concluded. And Shukdev Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj that, see, I'm speaking to you, I'm telling you the narrations of all the kings, but the purpose of this narration is not to tell you about their political involvements or the political life, but the purpose of telling about these kings is to teach you Vairagya and Vijnana, renunciation and realization. These are the two important things. And moreover, most of these kings were devotees of Lord Krishna. So it is known that if you hear about the devotees of Lord, one develops bhakti. So if one desires bhakti, one should constantly hear Hari Katha. And how should Hari Katha be heard? Abhikshanam and Nityam. Abhikshanam is constantly, Nityam is regularly. So if on a regular basis, one constantly hears Bhagavatam, he can get over this material ocean, which is not possible to cross. Why this happens? Because when we are constantly and regularly in touch with the name, form, and the leelas of the Lord, throughout the day we are remembering it, and constantly it is there in our mind. So hence it is recommended that every human being, every living entity should be reading Bhagavatam on a daily basis, and then uh, think about it, then ponder, like dwell on it during the day. So Shukdev Goswami very nicely described the qualities of Kali Yuga. It has all degraded qualities. It has fearfulness, short-sightedness. It shows how people are greedy for wealth, how they don't protect their dependents, and how they are only dedicated to the belly and genitals. So these are the characteristics of Kali Yuga. And after describing these qualities of Kali Yuga, he discusses the potency of holy name. That just by loving utterance of the holy name of the Lord, one can counteract all the challenges of Kali Yuga. And at the time of death, if one takes the holy name of the Lord, he definitely will attain ultimate perfection. So therefore, we should always worship Lord and dedicate our service, dedicate our actions to the Supreme Lord. Now, in this chapter, Sudev Goswami is talking of the 4 types of destructions. Now, what are these 4 types of destruction? One is constant annihilation, that is pralaya. Then we see occasional annihilation, which is called naimittika. The third one is total material annihilation, which is prakritik. And the final is atyantika, that is the final annihilation. So let us dive into this. Now, constant annihilation is happening every moment. Every moment in the material world, material existence is getting transformed and being changed. In the sentient beings, we can see the transformation in like how he's taking birth, growing, suffering, and then dying away. So there is constant change. So this constant inhalation is happening in some way or the other without we even realizing it. So this is called a constant inhalation, and it is happening in a cyclic manner. Like there are these 4 yugas. In the 4 yugas, the human beings or the living entities are born, and they live and they die. So it is always happening in a cyclic manner. So this is constant annihilation. It is happening throughout. It is happening in the material existence. Then we hear about the partial annihilation, the occasional annihilation. For that, we have to understand the life of Brahma. Brahma's day is 1000. What is Lord Brahma's day? It comprises of 1000 Chaturyugas. One Chaturyuga is Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali Yuga. This is one Chaturyuga. Like this, all these 4 form a Chaturyuga. So like this, 1000 Chaturyugas form one day of Lord Brahma. And the similar duration is of Lord Brahma's night. So 1000 Chaturyugas day, and then same is his night. So this is how the progress of time is described in terms of these 4 kinds of annihilations. Yeah. So now that we know the Lord Brahma's day and night, so there is one constant inhalation happening every time, every moment. And then other inhalation is this occasional inhalation, which happens at the end of Lord Brahma's day. That means when the 1000 Chaturyugas are over, Lord Brahma's day comes to an end, the planetary systems are withdrawn into the Garbhodakshai Vishnu. No? So when all the planetary systems are withdrawn into Lord Narayan's body, that is occasional annihilation. No, it will happen at the end of the day of Brahma. All right. So this is occasional annihilation. That is called naimittika. Now we come to the third, which is prakritik annihilation, total annihilation, material annihilation. Now, this Prakritik, this is complete pralaya. It happens when the entire cosmos, with its 5 elements, 5 elements, 23 elements, it gets withdrawn into the body of Mahavishnu. Then it is called elemental annihilation or total annihilation. So, this annihilation is complete, where not just one universe, but all the universes are withdrawn. So this is Prakritika. So Naimittika happens at the end of Lord Brahma's day, and Prakritik happens at the end of Lord Brahma's full life. What is the life of Lord Brahma? 100 years is the life of Lord Brahma. And one day is 1000 cycles of Chaturyuga. And Night is 1000 cycles of Chaturyuga. Like this, after 100 years are over, Brahmaji's life span is over. So Prakritic annihilation will happen at that time. And the last and the final annihilation is the Atyantika annihilation, which is when Atyantika annihilation is the most important annihilation. This is the ultimate annihilation. Why? Because in this annihilation, the jiva's false ego is destroyed. Yeah. So the like in the Naimittika, in the Prakritika, the false ego goes back. The false ego is not destroyed. But in Atyantika, the false ego is destroyed. That means the jiva will go back to the spiritual world. So this particular annihilation is of utmost importance. So we see that all the elements and when all the creation is withdrawn, false ego also goes into pradhana, and it is there. It then goes into the Lord Vishnu's body, and again it comes out in the next creation. But in Atyantika, ultimate annihilation happens. That means the false ego is destroyed completely. The jiva will not come into the material existence again. So these are the four types of annihilation. Constant, which we are seeing every moment it is happening. Occasional, at the end of the day of Lord Brahma. Total, at the end of the life of Lord Brahma, and final, when the false ego is completely destroyed. These are the four categories of universal annihilation. Now, let us dive into the thematic points. What are these teaching us? The eternal cycle of material life we see over here. How is material life? It is perpetual. It will not stop. It is ongoing cycle, cyclic nature of existence. It will never stop. So a living being is in it is woven into this cycle, like very timely he will take birth, he will live, then he will die, or the living entity. So we, after recognizing this rhythm, cyclic rhythm, we kind of get more enthusiast or more serious about seeking liberation. So, what is important is to understand this cycle of material life to the core. If we correctly understand, we will be honest in our spiritual practice and we will not waste our material life. So, this understanding is of utmost importance. Now, this understanding will come how the role of knowledge comes into the picture. It will shape our perception. Otherwise, the Kali Yuga is so strong, we will just carried away by the illusionary energy of the Lord. So this knowledge plays a very important role to bring us out, to give us the path of liberation. So the Supreme Lord empowers the individual to see his material universe distinctly from him. Okay, so this insight, this transformative knowledge, and this self realization, when it comes, only then the individual breaks free from the illusion of attachments to the material world. The moment you generate or get, uh, you know, uh, hatred for this material world, that you realize the nature of how gradually, all the time is eating each and every entity, we realize the folly of pursuing material attachments, and that will lead us to walk on the spiritual path. After that, like, this knowledge is about what? About the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord, we understand this world is nothing but it is the creation of the Lord. And in his, who is the if we want liberation, only Lord Hari is the ultimate source of this liberation. Only He has the power to give liberation to a living entity. And his nectarian's pastimes play a very important role in engaging the living entity into on the spiritual path. No, so we should hear more and more about Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So this pays a very important, we have to pay very important attention to devotional life. We have to surrender to Lord Krishna specifically in our on our path. We have to worship Lord Krishna. We have to serve his lotus feet. We have to read about his leelas and propagate his name, and we have to take his name, and we have to always be engaged in his name, form, and his leelas. And this is absolutely in contrast with the other philosophies, especially the philosophies which are impersonal philosophies. Okay, going forward, the concept of time and transformation, how time is transforming everything in the material existence. Time plays a very important role. Nothing in the material world goes unchanged. It can never remain unchanged. Everything is changing moment by moment, and we cannot perceive this change with our understanding. It is happening so smoothly. So this highlights the ever-changing nature of existence and calls for a heightened engagement with the spiritual implications of time. So we have to utilize this time in by getting involved into spiritual activities. So this is a reminder that timing passing away, it is just slipping like sand from the hand. And for this reason, we have to make, we have to grab this time, we have to make at most use of it. So we conclude this particular the understanding of this particular chapter with these thematic points, which shows that spiritual knowledge is of utmost importance. Practicing devotional service is the only way to get liberated from the cycle of birth and death. And when we see in once more in detail all these annihilations, it will scare us and it will urge us to walk on this path more sincerely. Now we come to the first 14, let us see the first 14 verses. In this first point is the measurement of the time. So we saw like how time, Shukdev Goswami has explained the spectrum of time, like right from the atomic, the very, very minuscule atomic vibration to the lifespan of Brahma. This is the whole spectrum of time. And this sets a cosmic background for creation and destruction. So if you understand the whole spectrum of time from the very minute atomic uh, beginning to the lifespan of Brahma, this all sets the background for the whole cycle of creation and destruction. So here, what do we understand? That the material existence has a transient nature, even at the minuscule level, and even at the highest level of Lord Brahma, it has a transient nature. So once a person grasps this reality of time, it enables him to understand and to detach himself naturally from the material concerns, naturally from the material life. Otherwise, it will not come. He has to force himself. But when this understanding comes, he naturally is able to practice detachment. Then let us understand about Lord Brahma's day, which we already saw. This 1,000 cycles of Chaturyugas forms the day of Brahma. It is also called Kalpa. No? So this is a very, like in this Kalpa, there are 14 Manus that come. Okay, and every Manu gets around 71 divine yugas. Okay, so this is this one day of Lord Brahma is called Kalpa, and it consists of 1,000 cycles of 4 ages. These Chaturyugas: Satyuga, Treta, Dwapar, and Kalyuga. So this is understanding of Kalpa or Lord Brahma's day. Now, when we understand this nicely, we come to know the impermanence of all the beings, and that helps us to reflect on our life more wisely. We would not try to while our time on fleeting objects or fleeting pursuits that is subject to uh, deteriorate. It will go away. It will just go away with the time. So we will try to catch hold of the permanent and not the thing that is going away. So this understanding of Lord Brahma and the time concept is of utmost importance. Then next comes the occasional annihilation, naimittika. When how is time eating up, you know, uh, everything? That even the day of Lord Brahma's goes by. Once at the we are Lord Brahma reaches the end of his day, there is naimittika annihilation happens, wherein the whole universe is taken back or withdrawn into the body of Lord Narayana. So here we see that there is a divine order behind all this creation and destruction. It is not just happening randomly. There is a perfect divine planning behind all this creation. So a higher cosmic intelligence is there that that is guiding the universe and that is suggesting that annihilation is not. So we see, how do we see annihilation or destruction? As chaos, as suffering, no, as death. But it is not just that. It has a higher purpose that shows that life is eternal and it has some purpose. And if we get stuck up to something that is passing away, it will lead us to nowhere. Okay, so Naimittika happens at the end of Lord Brahma's day, where all the planetary systems are withdrawn into the body of Lord Narayana. Then destruction and devastation comes in the form of what we see: drought, famine, cosmic fires, chaotic natural destructions happen, and uh, which impacts the life very strongly, and that everybody is subject to destruction in the time, in nature. Everybody is subject to destruction, not just the sentient being, but the insentient being is everything, the whatever the creation, everything subject to destruction. So this gives us a reminder that how fragile is our life. It will just go away in no time. Today I am there, next moment I won't be there. It is giving us a very strong reminder that how fast and how not just fast, how steadfast we should take our spiritual practices. Elemental dissolution. Elemental dissolution is complete dissolution, where all the elements that are made of the creation is made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Everybody, everything is goes to their own subtle origins. They merge back. That means the whole creation, all, not just one universe, all the universes are taken back, and that is the elemental dissolution. And this elemental dissolution highlights one thing, and that is interconnectedness between the elements of the being and the being. We are made up of panchabhutas, and these panchabhutas, at one point of time, at the end of Lord Brahma's life, they get pulled back or withdrawn, with all its universes. They get pulled back to their subtle origins. So we are all a part of this whole creation. We are all connected, all interconnected in some, no matter how small atomic the the creation is of the Lord, and to the biggest, at the highest level, we are all interconnected. So this shows our, like, this whole creation of Lord shows how we are connected to the Lord as well as to his creation, and how we are the part and parcel of his creation. So this interconnectedness cultivates a sense of unity, a sense of belonging. So when we connect to Lord, to his creation, that this is my Lord's creation, so we kind of live and we uh, develop a certain standard of living, that we respect his creation. Respecting Lord's creation is also of utmost as important as respecting Lord. So understanding his creation and respecting him, and for what purpose Lord has given this material existence, that is important. The false ego has a very important role. Till the time there is false ego, unless and until it is not destroyed, a jiva will not go back to the spiritual world. So false ego and how it is getting influenced by the modes of material nature, how it is absorbing the qualities and the elements, that will take us back to our unmanifested state, to our real identity. So here self-awareness and detachment, these are the two important points that comes. Like if there is ego, we won't be able to follow or practice detachment in our life. If there is ego, we won't be aware of our true spiritual nature. So when we recognize these mechanisms of false ego, we can transcend material limitations and we can achieve profound spiritual realization. So this destruction of false ego, complete annihilation of false ego is required to go to reach our destination, which is our uh, going back to the Godhead. And Mahat Tattva, the unmanifest nature. Mahat Tattva is what? The timeless essence. Like it is for a time, the everything remains, like everything's eternal, and there is this unchanging truth that is lying at the foundation of the temporal of this world. So before this world comes into existence, everything is in the Mahat Tattva. Everything is like lying over there before the creation. And once the creation starts, everything gets like changed, and rampant change is there, and the creation comes into the picture. But before that, everything's lying in an unmanifested state, and that is called Mahat Tattva. So we this encourages us to develop a connection with the eternal aspect by dedicating ourselves to spiritual practices and understanding this, getting this understanding that how this creation is coming into the picture. Before the creation, what happened? Like the unmanifest state, then it is getting manifested. For what purpose it is getting manifested? How we have to understand it? How we have to get the knowledge to come out of it? So all this is a complete understanding of the universe and its destruction. So here we see the cyclic nature of existence, and which uh, reminds us, or which urges us to take drastic steps towards liberation. So this awareness is of utmost importance. This inspires us for spiritual growth, encourages us to somehow don't get into the material pursuits and do not prioritize our values or our life basis on material pursuits only. We have to very intelligently strike a balance between material life and our spiritual life. And the more intelligently we can do it, that much more successful we will be in this our life only, to get out of this material world. And for this, we should understand Lord's divine order, how he has created this material world, for what purpose he is, and what is his divine plan. So all this is explained in these verses. Now, these are the points that are summarical points, the points in resume of these verses. Fragility of existence, life is very, very fragile. It can go away in no time. So we have to cherish and make utmost use of the time in hand. Interconnectedness in elements, we are all made up of Panchabhutas. We will all dissolve into the Panchabhutas. So everything in creation is interrelated. Transcending the ego is the path to liberation. If you get rid of your if the false ego is completely destroyed, we will never come back into creation. Eternal truth is that everything is lying in the unmanifested form before the creation. And once we engage into our spiritual practices, all this will come into light. And practices like meditation will help us lead to the liberation from the material attachments. So this is how Sukadeva Goswami is compelling everyone. He's calling everyone to focus on the spiritual life more, and although do their karmas in a way that they are dedicated to Lord Krishna. So now we come to the verses 20th to 43. We stopped at Pradhana, and we will get started with Pradhana only. That is the unmanifested state of the creation. So this unmanifested state of material creation, these are where the material existence, the senses, the consciousness, everything is lying in a dormant form. It is like, you can say, it is like a deep sleep. It is like a void, So, one can, see that, before this creation, everything's lying in a dormant state. So that is Mahatattva or Pradhana. And this highlights the foundation of creation. Like before the creation, this was the state. This indicates that now material universe is going to come out, no? And from this particular unmanifest source, the manifestation will happen. So this gives the necessity of grasping the origin of existence before immersing oneself into the. So we are coming from the Panchabhutas. We'll go back into the Panchabhutas, and when we involve or indulge ourselves completely into the material world, we forget our existence from where we are coming from, and we just follow life, or just live our life, just while away our whole lifetime. So we have to understand from where we have come from and where we have to go back again. Prakritika, the complete annihilation. It is a form of annihilation wherein the divine energies of the Supreme merge back into the unmanifested state. So after Prakritika, everything will go back into Pradhana. Yeah. So this shows the cycle of creation and dissolution. It is coming. So after the Prakritika, everything goes back into the unmanifested state, and being in the being in the Pradhana for a while, again it will come back into the creation. So this cycle we come to know. Creation, dissolution, creation, dissolution. So this concept tells us that, see how time is, the material existence is transient, how it is fleeting. Everything is going to go away sooner or later. If you're at a higher state, it will go later. If you are at the level of Brahma, it will take a lot of time, but ultimately it will go. So this serves as a reminder, not just to the living entity, but to higher entities also, that the material world is a mirage, and pursuing it is like pursuing a mirage. That means it is something that is, we are pursuing nothingness. We will get nothing out of it. So we should not run after the material world. And how this will happen? Only when we develop spiritual wisdom. The illusion of material existence we have seen a lot. But here we say that this material world, when you understand it, how do we understand it? When you see that in what way Supreme Personality of Godhead has designed this material existence. If you are able to distinguish between the cause and the effect, then we are able to understand the illusion of material existence. The reality within the material realm, we are able to understand. The guiding practitioners can seek, like, it helps to guide the practitioners to seek the eternal, the unchanging truth. So because we are constantly being created and destroyed, birth, death, suffering, it will finally, it will rise to us. It will come to our intelligence that I am seeking something that is going to go away, that is going to be destroyed. So hence it gives an inspiration to the living entity to seek something that is not going to go away. Huh? So desire that particular existence that is not going to be destroyed, which is above the material existence. After that, we see the complete existence, the unity of all the existence. Now, here a very good analogy is given of a lamp, the eye, and the visible form. This illustrates the non dual relationship between all expressions of intelligence and perceptions and the supreme. So, till the time there is light, the eye won't be able to see. No? And the eye is not able to see the higher truth. It is only able to see what is there in front of it. But that doesn't mean that there is not something beyond the vision of the eye. Okay. So once you understand these relationships, once you understand the whole design of this material existence of the Lord, then you understand that everything, there is a connection, everything is united. The creator is the Lord, and his material existence is his creation. So there is a connection between the his creation and the creator. No, so we don't take it as two different entities. No, they are different entities, but this creation also belongs to the Lord. If we have come into his creation, we should live in such a way that we go back to the creator and not get involved into his creation throughout. No, so perpetually we should not remain into this material existence, but our duty is to, through this material creation, we develop a link towards the creator and we go back to the source. This will happen when we understand the unity between the creator and the creation. That is the unity of the existence. And Krishna consciousness is the ultimate state. It is not just does not give liberation, but it gives so much of joy, so much of, like we can see our acharyas, the pure devotees of the Lord, the companions of the Lord, they are in so much of joy. So Krishna consciousness is actually the utmost destination. Liberation is that you will not come back into the material world, but Krishna consciousness is the ultimate state. It is higher to liberation also. So the aim should be towards developing Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is where when we are seeing Lord Krishna in everything, when we don't complain even when miseries come, because we see his divine play in that also. So this ultimate state that is to be developed is Krishna consciousness, which is beyond hundreds and thousands of liberations. Then the role of time and creation and annihilation. Time is a very powerful force. Nobody, like we saw in Bhumi Gita, all the powerful kings and dynasties, they become ashes in the face of time. So it plays a very powerful role in creation and destruction. It has got very subtle movements that we can't even percept. Human beings cannot percept the concept of time. So this gives, like when we recognize this divine force, Lord himself is time, Lord Krishna is time. So when we recognize this time in the right, when we realize this time, this energy of Lord, which is time, then that encourages us to, go beyond, to travel beyond this material existence, which will be beyond time. Okay. And for that, devotional service is the path. So if we want to go beyond time, if we want to go beyond the material existence, we have to practice devotional service. That is what is Bhagavata teaching. That is what Bhagavad Purana is recommending that if you want to get rid of all the sufferings, get rid of all the material existence, get rid of the continuous creation and destruction, we have to practice devotional service. I'll continue because it's a long chapter, and we will complete it today only. We'll try at our best to complete it today. Then further, we see Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's comments on measurement of time. Then we saw Lord Brahma's day, that is also called Kalpa. And the understanding of this particular process of the cyclic nature is very important. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that these perpetual cycles of creation and destructions, that it highlights the impermanence that defines all material existence. All material existence is subject to impermanence. It will be destroyed sooner or later. So this has to be taken with utmost, like it has to be understood completely, that no matter at what level we are finally going to mm, we are finally be subject to devastation. We will be subject to destruction. So that cannot be helped. We saw in in Naimittika and Prakritika how even Brahmaji's day is coming to an end, his life is coming to an end. So destruction is happening at various levels. So these two forms of annihilation, which is the occasional Naimittika destruction, where Lord Narayana absorbs the universe within himself, and Prakriti destruction, where the material elements go back to their original state, their subtle state. No? Their state, they go back to the Prakriti, and that is called Pradhan, the Mahat Tattva. So this distinction elevates the understanding of divine oversight of the process of creation. How well planned is Lord's creation, how it is getting created, how it is getting destructed, how well planned it is, everything. So this suggests that universe follows a higher understanding, a higher authority. So we should not underestimate, or we should not think that we should not take it granted. Oh, this is the universe, we are living in this universe. We should not take anything for granted. We have to understand that how methodically it is being planned, and at what level it is being planned, and for what purpose it is being planned. So this notion that destruction is the essential. So if creation is an essential part of material existence, destruction is equally essential part of the material existence. Without that, there will not be renewal, will not happen, rebirth will not happen. So we should see destruction as a new beginning instead of thinking of it as an end. So natural catalysms and human suffering, it will come in the form of suffering. We will experience various wars, various hardships, various devastations, destructions in the form of natural calamities. We have already seen World War I, World War II. We have seen how human is subject to suffering, to different kind of um, destructions, be it in the form of war, be it in the form of natural calamities. So human suffering is, it is going to be there. It is inevitable till the time you are in the human body, whichever yuga you are in, whichever situation you are in. Suffering is inevitable. It will come in some form of the other. To some of them, it will be in a little better, like it will seem little comfortable. To others, it will be absolutely very devastating. No? So, but suffering is the root cause. If you are human and you will not suffer, it will not happen. You have to suffer in this world, no matter what you are, in what position you are, no matter what is the position of your karmas, or what burden of karmas, your baggage of karmas you're carrying. We have to suffer. That is the ground rule, that if we are in human life, or any living entity has to go through suffering. So the process of elemental dissolution, which is prakritika, if not pralaya, like if we are not suffering in terms of birth and death, we will suffer in terms of Further on, we will suffer in Naimittika. Further on, we will suffer in Prakritika. But we will suffer. We will be destroyed ultimately. So, because ultimately everything is merging into the fundamental qualities, like everything will merge into the Prakriti, the Pradhana, everything will become Pradhana. So, this process powerfully illustrates the interconnectedness of the creation that we saw, and that a soul's journey is to go back to the divine, which is possible if he gets the right knowledge at the right time in the right form, and then he endeavors for that. And most important is when he gets the mercy, when Lord himself decides that I want him back, then it is possible that he comes out of the material existence. And the role of time and the eternal nature, we have already seen that how time is a powerful form of Lord, how time is creating and destroying everything. And this particular understanding is the essence of Sanatan Dharma. This is the eternal spiritual essence. Sanatan Dharma is teaching that material existence is constantly changing, but there is an unchanging reality beyond this material existence, and an individual should strive to develop a connection with that entity. So, this is how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is commenting. Then, in further verses, we saw in Pradhana how it is the sleeping stage before the existence, and the transformation and the nature of reality. Now, this transformation, like continuous, when we say continuous annihilation, continuous transformation is happening. Now, there are 6 stages of this transformation. First is Janma, birth. Then Astitva, that is existence of manifestation. Then growth is the third, Vriddhi, growing. Then Parinama, that is result or the transformation. Then apakshaya, that is decaying or getting old. And the last transformation is death, that is mrityu. So the transformation, the constant annihilation is happening in these six ways. No? Janma, Astitva, Vriddhi, Parinama, Apakshaya, and Mrityu. This illustrates that material reality is in a perpetual cycle of creation and destruction. So this shows the transient nature of material existence. And once we understand this, we should strive or quest for Brahman, which is the ultimate reality, which is unchanging. So material exists constantly changing, Brahman is unchanging. So we should seek for Brahman. The illusionary nature of duality is there. How duality creates an illusion. It draws comparisons to visualize phenomena like reflection and shadows. The actual truth will not be shown. Like in the material world, we see the truth in the form of reflections and shadows. So that's why we fail to see the absolute truth. So this absolute truth will not come into, we will not realize unless and until we follow, we seek to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. Only then we will understand him, his creation, for what reason he has made this creation. So we should goal for focus on the reality which is Brahman, and not the illusion, and not Brahman's illusionary energy, that is the world. And with for that, bhakti plays a very, very important role. And in bhakti also, unless and until there is complete unconditional surrender and love, it will not be successful. Then even this birth will not be enough. We'll have to come again and again and again till we actually attain pure love of God. We'll have to come again and again and again. So we have to be prepared for that. So hence we should try our utmost best to cultivate this love for God and unconditional surrender to him. No matter what happens to me, I am an instrument in your hands, Lord. Once this thing is confirmed, it is very easy to say, it doesn't come. So you can tell it 100 times to yourself in a day that I am an instrument in the hands of a God. But when the problem comes, you forget everything. So gradually we have to cultivate by reading Bhagavatam, by doing japa. We have to cultivate this. Sharanagati will come gradually, as and when we are walking on this path, it will come gradually. So bhakti plays a important role. There is a relationship between the cause and effect that we saw, creator and his creation, and the ultimate realization is when the last pralaya happens, this ultimate annihilation, atyantika, when the false ego is completely destroyed. So this should be our aim, that the false ego should be completely destroyed. So this principle underscores the pinnacle of spiritual endeavor, that is transcending all the limitations of material identity and merging with the supreme. Merging it not in terms of the impersonal, how the impersonal say that we will merge into the Brahman, not like that. We have to destroy our false ego. Like we have to come out of this individual entity that I am. I feel myself, oh, I am this person, I'm this. We have to we don't have to identify ourselves with our body. So the moment we stop identifying ourselves with our body, we will gradually get rid of our false ego. Once we get rid completely of our false ego, we will get liberation. But as Vaishnavas, we should not aim for liberation also. We should only aim for the love for Lord. And with time, transformation happens, and we see that everything is impermanent in the material world. So this is how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments give the message, make us understand more. So here we see the pralaya, the naimittika, and the prakritika and the atyantika. Once this whole concept of all these four annihilations is clear, we come to know how the cosmos is functioning and how it is subject to constant change and transformation, and how we should make efforts to come out of this constant creation and destruction. Otherwise, we will remain here only. So if we don't wish to suffer, if we want the pure love of Lord, we should make efforts to come out of these material existence to uh, to surpass all these kind of pralayas and not go through all this. So this concludes lesson 188. Now let us go to lesson 189, which dwells further. So now in lesson 189, we will see the philosophical significance behind all this cyclic nature of existence. We will see the higher reason why Lord has created this material existence in this manner. And we will see what role Krishna consciousness plays to bring an individual out of this samsara, this continuous birth and death. So here, in this chapter, you go little bit more in detail. So you see that the birth of cycle of birth and death is endless. It has no end, and living entities go through it endlessly. What a pain! Just imagine, I'm taking birth, I'm suffering, I'm dying. I'm taking birth, I'm suffering, I'm dying. This is endless, perpetual. It is never going to end. Then every organism, no matter how minute that microorganism, or to the highest, the biggest creature, everything is bound to this perpetual cycle of existence, birth and death, birth and birth and death. Some take little time, some take more time, but everybody is finally. So here they've explained how the seed sprouts into a big tree, how the over a period of time that tree also goes away, and then the new seeds, they generate new life. The seeds of the tree, they generate new life. So it is again creation, maintenance, destruction, creation, maintenance, destruction. So each birth gets a corresponding death, that is for sure. If you're born, you will die. So this explains the transient nature of reality, that we are bound to die. So hence, when this becomes ekdam pakka, you definitely, naturally, one develops detachment. But for that, studying and being in sadhu sangha is of utmost importance. The moment you come out of sadhu sangha, you stop studying Bhagavatam, everything goes away from the mind. This is the power of the illusionary energy of the Lord. So this concept is a reminder that material existence is fleeting and we should make right choices at the right time. Let us speak of Naimittika. Naimittika happens after billions of years of, like billions of years of human years, you can say. It is a vast period. It is not happening every now and then. There is an occasion when Naimittika happens. It's occasional. So it will happen at a particular time period. So what is the time period? When the day of Lord Brahma ends, that time Naimittika happens. The planetary systems are withdrawn back into the body of the Lord. So it also shows that not just the living entity, but the universe is also subject to destruction. So no matter how small you are, or no matter how big you are, everything and everyone is subject to destruction. And this should be taken with the understanding that when there is destruction, there will be life. So it should be embraced, it should not be feared. It should be embraced that once I die, there will be the new beginning. And in the new beginning, I have to strive for what I have left previously. Then Prakritika, where not just one universe, all the universes are taken back. And everybody gets into the Mahat Tattva. The all gross elements, they get merged into their subtle elements, like the gross elements merge into the subtle elements. Everything is taken back. Everything's lying in the in manifest form. So that is Prakritika. And final is when the ego is completely destroyed. The living entity gets rid of the material existence. He is able to transcend the material world, and now he will not come into the cycle of birth and death. It is different in case of devotees. Some pure devotees, they do come to propagate or to serve the Lord, to propagate the name of Lord. But they are under a different energy altogether. They are protected and they're taken back, and they don't suffer as uh, normal living entities or normal human beings suffer, because they are on a particular mission of the Lord. So, but as jivas, as normal human beings, like as me and you, we have to see to it that we are able to, that we should not associate with our false ego. I am so and so, I'm in particular so and so position. I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And going after the material pursuits. So we should not get carried away by the false ego. So here we see that what is the advanced understanding of all this? The advanced understanding of all this is that the nature is ephemeral. That means it's transient. It's gonna change, transform, and ultimately get destroyed. Along with the nature, material existence, all the living organisms, all the creatures, everything are subject to creation and destruction. And that once you get creation, this creation or the life has to be utilized to get the highest goal, which is love for Lord. Now here, the advanced understanding is this: once you say, like if you're ignorant, you say, Are Baba, we are getting created, we are suffering, we are dying. Such a depressing understanding is this. But we have to see it that this is a play of Lord. This is a divine Leela of God. And there's a purpose behind this divine Leela. Actually, he is very compassionate. He is again and again creating. He is not getting tired. Just imagine, in human life, even if you know, coming back with your problems, with your faults, if your discrepancies to the parent, ultimately the parent will get frustrated. What? You're not getting rid of it completely. You are hopeless case. But Lord is never gives up on us. He does not give up even at to the minutest of the living entities. He is giving chances, so many chances, continuous creation, preservation, destruction. Without stop, he is giving chances. So we have to take this that Lord it is his Leela, and through his Leela, he is giving so many innumerable uncountable opportunities to living entities to come out of this material existence. He is giving so many opportunities of liberation. So this, we have to seek the liberation. We have to see the intention of Lord when he is putting us into the material existence. So we should invite this, that we should get human birth in a good uh, in good condition, so, and the good knowledge, and then we should endeavor to go back to Godhead. We see that Lord is at most compassionate. He's giving us so many opportunities. Uh, by when a living entity experiences the dualities of life, joy, sorrow, success, failure, he realizes that everything is going away. So he does not get stuck up to these ups and downs of the life and by happiness or joy. He will try to surpass this. Okay, this is also going to go away, this is also going away. So we don't get stuck up anywhere. So that leads to spiritual maturity, and also one develops deep gratitude for the compassion of Lord and restoration of balance when the cycles of destruction, these play a very important role in restoring harmony in the universe. So if it this all the wrong things or all the if it not get destroyed, the creation will not happen. So destruction plays a important role in restoring the harmony. The harmony was impacted, it needs to be restored. So for that, destruction comes into the picture. So whenever like it becomes very chaotic, very tainted, very unrighteousness grows, inhalation acts as a cleansing force. We have to see inhalation in that light, that it is acting as a cleansing force. So if we see it in that light, we will not fear it, or we will not, utilize whatever we have in the right with the right objective. So this provides a new start and aligns more closely to the divine order. So the moment there is destruction, it and it is the new beginning, and then again everything will be aligned as per how Lord wants it to be. And these are the last couple of sites with which we end this particular chapter 4. Here we see the relationship between the Jivatma and the Samsara. The Lord is providing the Jivatma so many opportunities to address his karmas, the wrongdoings. And then he is giving an opportunity to Jivatma to connect to the higher purpose. And how will we connect to the higher purpose? By practicing Krishna consciousness, which is practicing selfless bhakti, a hetuki bhakti. Again and again, yesterday also, these adjectives are of utmost importance. Kali Yuga is very deceptive. He will show you, tell you, Are, you are doing a lot of bhakti. But we have to analyze that what type of bhakti are we doing? Is it a mere show? Or genuinely we need to develop this relationship with the Lord? So we need to constantly, do self introspection, that what if we are doing, what kind of bhakti we are doing. So that is required. Then our body and mind, they serve as a cause and solution of to come out of the vicious cycle. Without this body and without this mind, if mind is playing games to take you away from devotional service, mind only, through mind only we can come out of it. So we have to we don't have to hate the mind, we don't have to say don't listen to the mind, but we have to train the mind. We have to train our body, we have to preserve our body for this highest purpose, that we have to attain your love of Lord. We have to serve Lord in a selfish manner. So for this, we have to train both our body and mind. And whatever efforts we are doing, that will not go waste. If we are not successful in this life, God will give us another more better life, which will help us to come close to our goal more. No, so we whatever opportunity we get to train our body and mind, we should not lose on it. So how we remove one thorn with the help of another thorn, we have to make the best of the worst bargain. No? So this body is not the ideal thing to be in. It has got so many uh, faults and so many limitations. Mind also is so distractive. So, but that is the only way we can, come out of this material existence. So we have to use this body and mind to come out of a material existence. We have to understand the samsara, how the jiva is going, like in the cycle of birth and death across 8.4 million species, which could be so painful. Just imagining it is so painful. So what if we have actually gone through all this? So it is so painful. So in various planetary systems, we have traveled across 8 million species, life species. So what is the role of karma? This is the action undertaken by every jiva directly shapes his future existence. So whatever actions we are doing, our future is getting shaped. So we need to see that our action leads us to the highest truth and not get stuck up at the material level only. So for that, divine compassion is required. We should seek Lord mercy, beg him, pray him that we kind of overcome our limitations, and we are able to perform devotional service in the right state of mind with lot of love, so that we come back to him. So for that, we seek Lord's mercy, and only through Lord mercy Jivatma can get liberation. And we learning through varied life experiences, whatever life we are going through, we are facing so many trials and tribulations at every point. So we have to take a lesson from all this, that we are ultimately not the body, we are the soul, and we have to pass through these systems of karmic bondage, and we have to you know compel ourselves to walk the path of spiritual evolution. And opportunities for spiritual growth are given in all walks of life, in every form, in every yuga, everywhere. Lord is giving opportunities for spiritual growth. We have to open our eyes, recognize them, and work for it. Awakening comes only through Krishna consciousness. Ours is the best path. No matter where you go, whatever uh, solutions are being offered by various personalities, they might not be wrong, but the path that leads to again and again, Krishna consciousness is the best path. Other uh, gods or other powers have their own benefits, or you can say they have their own magnificence. But what Krishna has, nobody has. What love and what joy uh, spirit can experience in Krishna consciousness, we will not experience any other in any other consciousness. So here again and again we have to come to Krishna consciousness, Golok Vrindavan, Lord's activities in the Vrindavan, his relation with his companion, his Nitya Siddhas, his energies. We have to again and again relate to Lord, read about him, learn to love his pastimes, learn to, read more and more about him, absorb ourselves uh, into his form, his name, his pastimes, more and more. Jitna kar sakte ho utna. And this will help us so easily transcend the cycle of samsara. So if you are a Krishna conscious person, transcending this samsara is not difficult. It is a piece of cake, you can say. But provided it should be honest, surrender, and true love for the Lord. And it all byproducts come if we are truly loving Lord Krishna. Detachment comes as a byproduct. We don't have to train ourselves to detach ourselves like yogis. Ye bhi nahi, ye bhi nahi, ye bhi nahi karna, ye bhi nahi karna. That is a difficult path. You just absorb yourself in the love of God by taking his name, by reading about him, by meditating on his pastimes, his form. Automatically things are happening in a very beautiful way. We don't have to adopt very difficult processes. So for this, we have to embrace the devotional practices, just now what I mentioned. So the supreme goal is to transcend even liberation. So as devotees of Lord Krishna, we should not think of that liberation is our ultimate goal. For us, the ultimate goal is Krishna Prema Bhakti, and that we are my reason of my existence, or my existence in the future, is only to serve the Lord in the supreme in the spiritual abode, and to be a part of his entourage, and never to come back to the material world. So this very beautiful opportunity we get in Kali Yuga, that is mentioned. With this, I complete lesson 189, which is chapter 4. We are able to cover chapter 4. I think I am on time. So this chapter is very, very important. If till now we have not developed or not developed the urgency to walk on spiritual path or to practice bhakti, after reading this chapter, this urgency comes, because you see how at each and every moment we are transforming, we are changing, we are subject to death, we are subject to suffering, and not just a small suffering. The suffering can be so big, and at what level it can be. So after reading this particular chapter, it, like, we are enlightened that why this material existence Lord has done, for what purpose he has done, and we should not fear this material existence. We should make the best use of his material existence to link ourselves, to connect ourselves to him, to go back to him. So this was about the 4 types of emulation. Now it is open for destruction. Shad Prabhuji, please correct me if I have gone wrong, because it took me a lot of time to understand this. I may have gone wrong at some places. So it's open for comments.
Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you. Very nicely explained.
Thank you,
I,
Prabhuji.
I hope everybody understood what happens in the Naimittika dissolution. What happens? Which all lokas they get destroyed? Things are clear.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I have a question there. Couple of places there are, I see discrepancy. Let's talk about Naimittika. So all the planets not destroyed. We see the top 3 planetary system like Maharlok, Janlok, and Taplok. It doesn't get changed. Only the below up to the Swargalaka. All those go back to the Garbhodaksha Vishnu when Brahma sleeps, and when he wakes up, as we see that he forgets, he prays to the Lord and starts creating the bodies. That's what he creates the planet system. So all the planets are not destroyed when Brahma sleeps. Only the top 3 planet system remains there. Is that the understanding correct?
Up to the Maharloka, Prabhuji. The
Maharlok,
destruction
correct.
happens up to the Maharloka.
Okay. There is a lot of confusion on this.
Yeah.
I'll clear this with the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Sridhar Swami.
Okay. Then before another question. So slide 9. There's a confusion between Mahatattva and Pradhan. Mahatattva is a prakat form. Pradhan is a aprakat.
Okay, Prabhuji, I'll clear
That
this.
correction, I believe correction is required. The slide is not correct. That's my there
Okay,
on that night.
I'll clear all these this thing.
I think. Okay, so I'll leave it there right now. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Mataji explained so nicely. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll clear all these doubts because they are required to be cleared. As you know, I'll first go through very briefly, then the doubts. As you know, 1000 cycles of the 4 yugas. A cycle of 4 yugas is 43 lakh 20,000 years. It constitutes 1 day of Brahma, and that is also known as Kalpa. And in that, as we learned, there are 14 Manus. Each Manu, 71 cycle of Chaturayugas. Now, the duration of Brahma's night is the same as his day. and during his night, Brahma sleeps, and the three planetary systems meet destruction. And this is the Naimittika or occasional annihilation. We'll talk about this a little more. Then Prakritika is what? When Brahma's lifespan of 100 years is finished, that is our 311 trillion years, then there occurs a Prakritika or a total material annihilation, and at that time, what happens at that time, the seven elements of material nature, beginning with the Mahatattva and the entire universal egg composed of them, they are destroyed. Then what about Atyantika? When a person achieves knowledge of the Absolute, he understands factual reality and he perceives the entire created universe as separate from the Absolute and therefore unreal. And that is called Atyantika or final annihilation. At every moment of time, invisibly transforms the bodies of all created beings and all other manifestations. And this process of transformation causes the living entity to undergo the constant annihilation of birth and death. And those possessed of subtle vision state that all creatures, including Brahma himself, are always subject to generation and annihilation. And material life means subjugation to birth and death. Now, then regarding the other things, just as clouds in the sky, they come into being and they are dispersed by the amalgamation and dissolution of the constituent elements. The material universe is created and destroyed within the absolute truth by the amalgamation and dissolution of its element, and that is the constituent parts. And in this way, the progress of time is described in terms of four kinds of annihilation: continuous, occasional, elemental, final. Now, some believe that during this in Naimittika, all the lokas they are destroyed, and some describe that Maharloko and Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, they do not get destroyed. Now let us understand this aspect from the various verses which are given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything is given in the Bhagavatam. That there is nothing which is interpreted. Like in the fourth verse, what is given? When the four Chaturyugas, they elapse 1,000 times, it is a day of Brahma, or it is known as Kalpa. And 14 Manus, they rule in this successively. Then in the third verse, it says that at the end of this day, there is a dissolution for the same duration of time. That is called night of Brahma. And during this period, all the three lokas, Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, they are dissolved. Then in the another verse it is said that the Naimittika dissolution, during this dissolution, Brahma, taking the whole universe within himself, sleeps along with Narayana. This Mataji also said. Now here in this verse it appears that Brahma and the universe, they enter into Narayana. Now what Sridhar Swami, he also takes that meaning. And he writes that when then he gives an then thereafter he gives an alternative meaning also. I'll say that. He says Brahma, considering him as non-different from Narayana, is called Anta Asanam, the name used for Narayana. Now, thus we see that Sridhar Swami was not satisfied with his first explanation because it contradicts with the understanding of complete dissolution. which is described in the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also makes it clear that the three planetary systems, Bhur, Bhuvat, Swaha, they are dissolved. Now Brahma enters into Narayana and sleeps. Thus it is not stated that the universe enters into Narayana or Mahavishnu. Rather it enters into Brahma, who enters into Narayana. Only the lower three lokas are destroyed. The upper lokas of Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, they are not dissolved. Now, the other reference is given in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which says that the involution or dissolution of the material elements into pradhana occurs in a systematic four-step regression powered by eternal time. Now, I hope you have understood till now what I have said. Now,
Yeah,
regarding elemental dissolution, I'll take on the questions at the end. Now, what happens? What about the elemental dissolution? What we also spoke at the end of Brahma's life, the five gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, they disintegrate into their subtle forms. And earth dissolves into the tanmatra of smell, water into taste, fire into color, air into touch, and ether into sound. Then what happens? Dissolution into the Mahatattva. All of these subtle sensory elements, along with the mind intelligence and false ego and the 10 senses, they enter into Mahatattva. Mahatattva is the total cosmic intelligence. Then what happens? Then by the force of time, Kala, the Mahatattva undergoes involution and enters into Abhyakta or the unmanifested total material energy. Then finally, what happens? Final entry into Pradhana and the Supreme. The unmanifested total material energy then collapses into the primordial non-differentiated Pradhana. And finally, Pradhana rests with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is Pradhana? As you know, Maya has two functions. One is called Maya and the other is called Pradhana. Maya refers to the efficient cause and Pradhana refers to the ingredient cause. That is the ingredients that create the cosmic manifestation. And this is also given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now I hope everything is understood till now what I have said.
Yeah, Prabhuji, the last can you repeat? So Maya and Pradhana. So Pradhana, you say the ingredient cause. That means that is where everything, gross and subtle
Yeah,
merge. And
yes, what I said, Maya has two functions.
okay,
One is called Maya and the other is Pradhana.
okay,
Now, Maya, we totally understand it, refers to the efficient cause. And Pradhana is the ingredient cause. All the ingredients there in the Pradhana, initially they are in a subtle form. Then when Mahavishnu glances, they become manifest, unmanifest form and the manifest form.
yeah,
That's
thank
how
you.
it happens.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope all others have understood this complete thing.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, मैं ऐसे समझी हूँ, आप जरा प्लीज करेक्ट करेंगे। मैं मतलब प्रधान जो है, प्रधान every elements of material creation is unmanifested form is called pradhana, and when it gets manifested, then it is called mahatattva.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji.
That is the correct understanding.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Samta Mataji, for so wonderful class. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Ramya Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Samta Mataji, very wonderful class.
Thank you,
The
Mataji.
ultimate
Ramya Pranam.
result is Krishna consciousness. We have to
So, Prabhu, wonderful explanation, sir.
consciousness.
So
Yes,
this
Prabhu.
earth will
I,
go
I,
back.
I hope everything has been understood in the right way. The are little difficult concepts in the lessons 188 and 189. But I'm very sure now you must have understood it correctly.
तो प्रभु
So
जी
where
जो भी
is
जीवा है प्रभु जी वो डेथ एंड बर्थ संसार में मतलब अगर जो भक्ति नहीं करके वो इसमें से बाहर निकलने की कोशिश नहीं करता है तब तक वो इसमें ही रहेगा, ये संसार में ही रहेंगे.
Yes, as Mataji rightly explained, why this dissolution is taking place. This is to give us a chance.
Chance.
He is giving us chance not once or twice, again and again. And it is perpetual till the time we perfect ourselves and go to the spiritual world. Chances will be given. It is up to us to accept or not accept.
तो प्रभु जी यहाँ पे मतलब अभी ये बड़ा सा भूकंप आया है वेनेजुएला में, फिर सुनामी आता है कि प्रलय बहुत ही बड़ा तूफान साइक्लोन आता है, तो वो हम कैसे समझ सके ये कौन सा डिस्ट्रक्शन समझ सके ये
Adi Daivik. It has nothing to do with what we
ओनली
are
आई दिख
discussing.
देवी.
Yes.
Adidaivic. And
Yeah.
what happens collectively at that place or in that area, they must have done something wrong, and that is the punishment for them.
Oh, this is only we have to understand this is Adi Devi tap.
Yes.
Adidaivic, yes.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
So that is also plan of Krishna only, Prabhu. Okay, Tugek is also planned by Krishna. Yeah.
This
Actually,
is
what has
punishment
happened
given
is,
by the demigod.
Demigod.
you see, Krishna does not get involved in these small minor things. He has made a rule, and like you have made a program in the computer, it works automatically. It does not require any interference. Like that, Krishna has made the rules. Where are the rules given? These are given in the Vedic literature. And as per that, the world is ruled. And anybody who does good job, he gets rewarded. One does bad job, he gets the punishment. And like this, like in a tsunami, suppose 10,000 people they die, means they are given a chance to prove themselves again. They end their life. Ending the life, this is not a bad thing or unfortunate thing. That means whatever they have been given for this lifetime, prarabdha, that is over. Now they have to move forward. They are moving forward. That is what it has to be understood.
मतलब प्रभु जी प्रकृति जो है वो अपने आप बैलेंस कर लेती है सब, बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल दिस इंसिडेंट्स हैपेंस. प्रकृति अपने आप को बैलेंस कर हार्मोनाइज कर सकती है ऐसा.
All these things, like you see, like in the present day world, there is so much pollution, so much disturbance, so many things happening. And once the world, this complete dissolution takes place and it is remade, then everything gets perfected. Then it comes to the original position. Then again people, they pollute it, they degrade it, and ultimately that has to be destroyed. Like this, it carries on and on.
Yeah, Prabhuji, just I have one other small question. So let's look at the pralaya. He's talking about a bond, prakat hota hai, then it remains there, then decay hota hai, and then it dies, right? So somewhere we read that, every day new skin comes up. All those cells are there. They are born and they die in the body, right? So that is what I also understand. Apart from that, they are born. They prakat hota hai, jalm hota hai. That mother gave that five terms, right? Born, it prakat hota hai, then it remains.
6 अवस्था.
Shiksha
Yes,
avastha, 6 hours. We also talk about we are born, we grow, we remain there, dwindle and die down. So these are also, are we looking at those stages here, or we are considering, because here annihilation word is used, that means it just destroys, right? So, or another word I understand, every time the skins, right? A lot of new cells are born, they remain there, they get destroyed. So I'm trying to understand these two
Okay,
together, Prabhuji.
what are the four types of dissolution? What we learned in today's class, that is in
Yeah.
chapter 4, they are different.
Okay.
They are different. Like one
Okay.
is happening when Brahma goes to sleep.
Yes.
Brahma goes
Okay.
to sleep, then what happens?
Yeah, we
the,
saw that.
the complete everything enters Brahma and Brahma enters into Narayana.
Yeah.
That's what is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But here in this, when we are in this material world, say during the day of Brahma, in the day of Brahma also people are dying, taking birth,
Right.
the civilizations they are
Yeah.
evolving, they are disintegrating, like all this happening. But at a much higher level, all those things what we learn today.
Makes yeah, Prabhuji, it makes perfect sense. And also when you get liberated, moksha, or you go to the Golkundavan, that time you are also, that is also end of their life, right? For that is the last one,
Yes,
Atyantika.
because
That is
at that time all the rules of the material world they are not applicable.
applicable to you. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Any other question or comments? Okay, just one information. Charu Prabhuji has already sent the schedule for the Govinda Bhasya classes, and I have also sent you the schedule and the responsibilities, Siva, for the 12th canto balance of the lessons. Please go through that and please work out your responsibility. And in case you want a change, please tell in time. Now here some amendments are also taking place. Like Archana Mataji has said on 19th she is not available, that is being changed. Then Govinda Vasya lessons 32, 33. One was given to me and one portion was given to Prasad Prabhuji. Now both the portions are being given to Prasad Prabhuji. I will not be here. Here means on that day I will be in Kashi Varanasi. So that thing, if you want any change, please let us know. And where is Sanjeev Prabhuji is not here. Okay. His lessons, that is the last three lessons, they are to be taken in 2 days. Now the next class, that is the next week, that is 3rd and 4th July, that is chapters 5 and 6, lessons 190, 191 and 192, 193, they will be taken by the
Me,
Raksha.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji.
So these are the immediate things. Please see
एंड
the
प्रभु जी फिफ्थ को भी फिर क्लास है गोविंद भाष्य लेसन नंबर 15 भी संडे को मेरा ही है
16.
तो ऑल 3 days माय क्लासेस थर्ड फोर एंड फिफ्थ
Okay, like that, 17, 18, and most likely 19th, they will be mine. All three.
doesn't matter
I hope you will be able to take.
yes प्रभु जी कैन डू स्पिरिट आई विल ट्राई माय बेस्ट
Okay.
ये दिस इज द चांस अगर प्रभु जी ने हमें कहा है कि ये डेवलप करो स्पिरिट तो वी हैव दिस इज द अपॉर्चुनिटी सडनली गिवन टू मी बिकॉज सो आई कैन डू माय बेस्ट प्रभु जी डोंट वरी
Yes. In case something comes up, then tell me in time. Things
नो
can be
प्रभु जी
adjusted.
यस
That
यस
is no problem. Okay. Any other question or comments on whatever we learned in the lessons 188, 189? That is in chapter 4. Okay, if no questions, then we can conclude the today's class with the Nusika prayers.
प्रभु जी वन मोर पॉइंट, प्रभु जी यहाँ ये जो उसमें हम दो श्लोका को कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं, देहिनोस्मिन् यथा देहे यौवनम कुमारम यौवनम जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिम धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यते। अगर हमारी डिजायर अगर ये मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में ही रहने की है, कुछ परस्यू करना ही नहीं है, स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज वगैरह, तो वापस हम यहीं पे रहेंगे। और फिर 4.9 जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम इदम यो वेति तत्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहम पुनर्जन्म नेति मामेति सोचन। अगर हम ये जन्म में अच्छे से भक्ति करते हैं, गुरु की शरण लेते हैं, शरणागति करते हैं, तो हम ये जन्म फिर हमारा दूसरा जन्म नहीं हो पाएगा। ये समझ सकते हैं प्रभु जी दोनों श्लोक?
You see, ultimately, what is the gist of all the studies we are making? To establish or to have love for the Supreme God.
Yes,
to love Him. And that should come, that will come spontaneously in us. So, I'll tell you a very interesting story I heard just recently. The life history of the devotees I keep on hearing and reading. I have got the books also, many books. Now, one of them, there was a person in Barsana. His name was Gulab Sakhi. Gulab Sakhi name was given by Radharani only, none other than her. Now at the end, he merged with Radharani. And before that, what was he doing? On that previous night, from 12 o'clock onwards, till Mangal Aarti in the Barsana temple, Gulab Sakhi was playing his musical instrument and Radharani herself was dancing. This can also happen. And for a Muslim devotee, he had no knowledge of what we are learning, we are being taught, and we are studying. Now that is the level, and the Lord is totally impartial. It is not that he is partial to the Hindus, he is not he is inimical to the Muslims or others. He is not. God is one only. The Supreme Lord is one. In the spiritual world is one only. It is not different from for Hindus, Muslims, and Christians and all that. These are what people believe, and their beliefs also take them to the spiritual world. You mean the Christians, they are not going to the spiritual world, they are also going to the spiritual world. The Muslims, they are also going to the spiritual world. Everybody, the path of the worshipping the Supreme Lord, that is different. The methods are different, but the destination is one only. So that is what is there. So okay, then we can conclude the today's class with the Nrsinga prayers.
Yeah, Rajkumari Mataji, would you like to do?
Yes, Mataji, I will do. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lad Daine. Prahlad Lad Daine. हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः शिलटङ्कालकालायि शिलटङ्कालकालायि इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरेणकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव करकमलवरेणकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय हो नरसिम्हा देव जय हो नरसिम्हा देव जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय हो प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय हो हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण थैंक यू प्रभु माता जी
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Santa Mataji. Very well taken class. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Dandavat
Dandavat
Pranam.
Pranam to all
Prabhu,
devotees.
all devotees.
Thank you,
Dandavat Pranam.
Mataji. Thank you, Sarat Prabhuji.